This is how the Kinahan clan became world-class narcos. Christy Kinahan was born into a comfortable middle-class family where he was pampered and adored by his loved ones. He received a top-notch education at one of Ireland's most prestigious schools, providing him with ample opportunities as he had entered adulthood. Despite his privilege, Kinahan chose a path of criminal activity, establishing himself as a notorious Dublin criminal in the 1980s and 1990s. Throughout this time, he was repeatedly incarcerated for drug offenses and fraud, but many prisoners used their time in prison as an opportunity for self-reflection and change. Although Kinahan appeared to be following this path, he ultimately embraced his life of crime and became one of the most feared and influential figures in the criminal underworld. He enrolled in college courses and used his time behind bars to enhance his education and language skills, becoming fluent in Dutch and Spanish by the time he completed his last sentence in 2001. Upon his release, Kinahan was in his early 40s and leveraged his newfound knowledge to establish a thriving career as a businessman. However, it was not in the conventional sense, as he used his skills and connections to build a vast international drug cartel, which has since become one of the most powerful and influential criminal organizations in the world. It is estimated to have assets worth over £800 million, approximately $1 billion, and is ranked alongside the likes of the Italian mafia. Kinahan's rise to the top of the criminal underworld is a testament to his cunning, ambition, and resourcefulness. The Dapper Don, as he came to be known, reportedly mentored his sons Daniel and Christy Jr. to lead their heroin, cocaine, and drug trafficking operations throughout Europe, South America, and the Middle East. Christy rose to become one of Europe's wealthiest drug lords, serving time in Ireland and the Netherlands for drug dealing and in Belgium for money laundering crimes. For nearly 3 decades, Daniel Kinahan followed a philosophy of maintaining a low profile to evade significant police attention. However, in 2016, an assassination attempt on him in his mid-40s ignited a brutal conflict with Ireland's notorious Hutch family, resulting in around 18 fatalities. Most of the murders occurred in Dublin and were allegedly carried out by hitmen associated with the Kinahan Cartel. For the people of Ireland, the name Kinahan is synonymous with the most heinous of crimes, including drug trafficking, gun smuggling, and murder. Despite numerous attempts by law enforcement to bring members of the family to justice, they have managed to elude capture, seeming almost untouchable. This sense of invincibility persisted until recently, when the world's most powerful nations set their sights on the cartel with the intention of delivering a decisive blow. The Kinahan Cartel's reputation for brutality and disregard for the law has made it one of the most significant threats to global security, and the international community is determined to bring its criminal activities to an end. The death of Gary Hutch marked the beginning of a bloody gangland war that has since resulted in 18 reported killings linked to the Kinahan and Hutch feud. The war has also resulted in the imprisonment of numerous gangsters for crimes related to the conflict. According to police reports, Gary Hutch hired a hitman to carry out a targeted attack on Daniel Kinahan outside his luxury apartment in southern Spain on August 3, 2014. Gardaí, Irish police, believed Hutch played a significant role in the Kinahan Cartel, with secret Spanish police files suggesting that he was just one step below Daniel in the organization's hierarchy, responsible for overseeing the trafficking of drugs and weapons. The attack was reportedly arranged after Hutch's boss failed to pay him for his involvement in a cash laundering scheme resulting from a tiger kidnapping. The ongoing conflict between the Kinahan and Hutch gangs highlights the dangerous and brutal nature of organized crime in Ireland. Just over a year after the failed attempt on Christy Kinahan's life, another key player in the criminal underworld, Gary Hutch, was killed. The Kinahan and Hutch feud has resulted in numerous murders, with Kinahan's son Daniel being suspect of ordering the killings of around 14 individuals. The severity of the Kinahan Cartel's impact on the criminal world was recently highlighted by a senior member of the U.S. Treasury Department, who stated that the organization is operating at the same level as some of the most notorious crime groups in the world, including Mexico's Los Zetas, Japan's Yakuza, Italy's Camorra, and Russia's mafia, who are commonly referred to as the thieves of law. This claim was made by an assistant director of global targeting in the Office of Foreign Assets Control following a global crackdown on the group by the Qatari Commissioner Drew Harris and Assistant Commissioner John O'Driscoll. The Kinahan Cartel's dangerous influence and reach make it one of the most significant threats to global security. Kinahan, reportedly joined by U.S. government officials, was present at a press conference along with the U.S. ambassador to Ireland, Claire de Cronin, Troy Miller from U.S. Customs, Wendy Walcott from the DEA and Europol, and Matt Horn from the UK's National Crime Agency. The international community asserts that the Kinahan clan was involved in drug and firearms trafficking. Recently, the EU drug markets reported by Europol and the European Monitoring Centre for Drugs and Drug Addiction, EMCDDA, showed that Irish criminal networks are now major players in the cocaine market. These Irish gangs are large wholesalers who store large quantities of cocaine in EU distribution hubs, primarily for supplying the UK. According to the EU Drug Markets Report, the Kinahan clan from Dublin, Ireland, is linked to violence and homicides in multiple EU countries. Conflicts between the Kinahans and rival groups have caused casualties in Belgium, Ireland, the Netherlands, and Spain. Court proceedings against some Kinahan members showed they set up specialized cells for killing rivals. U.S. investigator noted the sanctions imposed on 7 key members of the Kinahan Cartel, putting them on par with Italy's Camorra, Mexico's Los Zetas, Japan's Yakuza, and the Russian cartel. These individuals are banned from the U.S. financial system, with any assets or property in U.S. jurisdiction frozen. The Canadian gang has been involved in a violent conflict with another gang in Spain and Ireland since 2016, resulting in deaths including innocent bystanders and causing fear among civilians. Currently based in the UAE, the Canadian cartel remains active in Ireland, the UK, and Spain. It's an honor to be in Dublin. I express gratitude to Commissioner Harris for the effort and commitment from the officers of Garda Síochána and their work to safeguard individuals globally, particularly in Ireland. I acknowledge Assistant Commissioner O'Driscoll for spearheading the investigation. The NCA Deputy Director of Investigations, Matt Horn, and his team collaborated with the Garda National Drugs and Organized Crime Bureau to apprehend Thomas Bomber Kavanagh, who was described as part of the world's most violent cartel by Horn. The lead investigator stated, "Our focus is on criminals who cause the most harm, who are violent, exploit the vulnerable, and control communities." The Kinahan crime group fits these criteria. They've crossed international borders and trafficked multi-million-pound drug shipments in Ireland, the UK, and Europe, and are involved in firearms trafficking and money laundering. One of the main reasons the Kinahan family has been able to avoid appearing in court in Ireland in relation to their cartel activities is because they are believed to have been operating from Dubai, a city known for its glittering skyline and also for being a hub for expatriate criminals who operate freely outside the law. The lack of an extradition treaty between Dubai and Ireland made it impossible for law enforcement to bring their Kinahans back to their homeland to face their charges. Despite numerous efforts by international authorities to apprehend the family, their ability to evade capture and continue their criminal activities from a jurisdiction with limited cooperation with Irish law enforcement remains a significant challenge in the fight against organized crime. Daniel Kinahan, who is believed to have taken over the daily operations of the cartel in recent years, has been able to maintain a seemingly legitimate career in professional boxing. His former company, MTA Global, has managed several high-profile fighters, including the world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, despite his suspected involvement in organized crime. This dual existence, where Kinahan is able to operate as a prominent figure in the boxing world while also being linked to one of the world's most dangerous criminal organizations, highlights the complex and far-reaching nature of the Kinahan Cartel's criminal activities. It is a testament to the power and influence that the family wields and the continued challenges facing law enforcement in bringing an end to their criminal empire.